Well, welcome to the show. We have a special guest today. Excuse this lighting. It's very bright here and I couldn't do anything about it. So we just have to go with that. But we have a special guest today, one of my favorite G.I. Joe friends, Alex. So we're going to bring Alex in now. Y'all welcome him to the show. How you doing, brother Alex?
I'm doing great. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing good today. I say that any day above ground's a good day.
Absolutely.
Well, you're one of my oldest Joe friends. I met you at Joe Lanta, and we've been friends for years. Just wanted to bring you on the show and let you share a little bit. Tell us how you got started.
Well, it all started on a cold, dark day back in March of 1998. I was born back then, and my dad had grown up with GI Joes from the 60s and 70s, but when I was a kid, Max Steel was a big deal and some things like that. So I kind of started out with the Max Steel, and I had a few of the the modern GI Joes, the 12-inch GI Joes. But me and my dad, we were at a flea market one day, and just so happened to see a 60s Jeep, GI Joe Jeep. And he said, well, I had that when I was a kid. And that was the first time he had seen that in, I guess, years. So, that just kind of sparked my interest. I might have been 7 or 8 years old at the time. And around that same time, Walmart did the reissues of the vintage Joes. They had the Action Sailor, Action Soldier, Marine, all those. And then they also had the Adventure Team. So my mom and I were out grocery shopping. And again, I was maybe 7 or 8 years old, roughly. And we just walked down the toy aisle and saw those. And my mom said, "Oh, wow, those look like the old GI Joes. Why don't you pick out a couple?" Because they were only $10 at the time. They're just $10 a piece. So I got the Soldier and the Sailor. No, I'm sorry. I got the Soldier and the Marine. And I came home and played with them, and I loved them so much that the next day she got me the Man of Action, the Adventure Team Man of Action. And once I found out that Kung Fu grip, once I got with the little shoulder holster and the pistol and everything, I was like, "Yep, the Adventure Team's where it's at." So
That's right. That's right. And so, what would you consider your Grail?
Probably my Muscle Body Commander, for sure. Yeah. And really good story behind that one. The one I have here to show is not the one I'm speaking about, but of course, I played with the Joes and everything as a kid, but then once I found out about Joe Lanta, the first Joe Lanta I went to was 2011. So I was 12 years old. I was about to turn 13. And, I was still kind of at the age where I enjoyed playing with them as toys, but was kind of starting to, want to collect some of the things and kind of, curate them and stand them up on shelves, make little dioramas and stuff. So, but yeah, I met you, I met Buddy, Scott Beckman, Jack, all of our best pals down there. And when I graduated high school in 2016, our pal Scott Beckman sent me a Muscle Body Commander as a graduation gift because he knew, the Commander, my favorite figure and everything. So yeah, that's my Grail item for sure.
Where do you see the hobby going?
Well, I think right now, as far as action figure collecting, I think the 6-inch scale is more or less where it's headed. Hot toys is still a pretty big deal and things like that, but it seems to me like kids aren't really, unfortunately playing with, with this kind of stuff anymore. And I think there's a couple of reasons behind that. I really don't think it's because of, video games or whatever you may have, but I think just the lack of product that's come out from Hasbro, Mattel, things like that in the last few years. And what product has come out has been very, geared towards collectors. I just don't think that so much advertisement for kids anymore, and I just don't know what it is there. But the hobby is still the hobby is still alive and well. I feel like, and
Yes,
especially guys like us, we get together, and I feel like, you know, for you and I, and for a lot of our friends, it's more about the friendship now than it is the hunt of the item, right?
that is so true. Angelo, you know, he knows I play Santa, so he flocked this head for me. And
That's awesome.
it kind of looks like me, not exactly.
No, it looks great.
And I didn't have any red pants, so I got him some camo, some red camo.
Very nice. Very fitting. Does he have like a 50 cal mounted to his sleigh or anything?
I'm surely going to do that. That's right. Well, why don't you show us what you brought to show and tell today?
Sure. I've got a few pieces here. Some of these are some pretty good vintage pieces. So I've got, of course, the headquarters over here.
Yes.
I believe I've got two headquarters. I think this one is about 90% complete. The other one is in storage right now, but I got that one. And, you know, that I loved playing with my headquarters as a kid. I got one when I was about 10 years old at an antique store. And it was, man, I just loved that thing. And it even had all the little pieces. I'm not sure how many of the pieces are in this one. No, I've got kind of some random stuff in there right now, but all the little maps and everything, that really, you know, opens the imagination. And then
have you seen what the 3D printer guy did, where he made the thing for the map table to go on with the drawers in it?
Oh no, I haven't seen that.
I'm getting me one of those because, you know, when Mike got his headquarters, it did not have the cardboard that you sit the map table on, so we had to make one. We made one, and it looks good, but then when I saw this the other day, this is a 3D printed base, and it has drawers on it, so you can put the maps in it.
That's actually really, really cool.
Oh, and you got the helicopter.
Yeah. Was Jim Egner the one doing the
Yes,
the
Jim
3D
did
printing?
it. Yeah, Jim.
Awesome.
Jim.
He's got some great stuff.
He
But yeah,
sure
I got
did.
my helicopter. This one I have actually had since I was about 10 or 11 years old. I played with this one a lot. I don't know how it survived, but it's still in good shape. I just assembled it and put it back in the box.
Sure.
So, but yeah, I got that there, and then
do you remember what you paid for it, Alex?
I want to say back then, $50, 40, $50, somewhere around in there.
Yeah.
And
try and get it for that now. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And in those days, I was mowing yards and pulling weeds in the neighborhood and different odds and ends chores to get some spending money to buy Joe stuff. So
right.
And then, so here's a couple of my figures here. This is an original Commander, talking Commander. This one would have been from early 70s, so probably 1970 or 71. Just got the 2 pockets instead of the 4. So I believe that would be a second issue, maybe. I'm not entirely sure. But he talks pretty good. Let me see if I can get him to say something for us.
All right. Oh my goodness, it's very clear too.
Yep, he's in good shape. I don't think this one's ever been I don't think he's ever been opened or anything. So
okay.
You know, our friend Scott does a lot of restringing for the talkers and things. So, but I don't think he's been touched yet.
Well,
sorry.
I just said Scott made mine talk again. He was just mumbling. So yeah, Scott's good.
Yeah, he does a great job. He also fixed my troubleshooter. He got my troubleshooter to talk.
Oh,
so, but this is my body. muscle buddy commander here, and he still sounds pretty good. I think he's not quite as loud as the standard one, but
Okay.
like,
Yeah,
one
yeah.
for all. Oh.
One for all, yes. Love it.
And I've always been very partial to the commander here. I'll tell you a quick story, kind of ties into Christmas and everything. But when I guess I got my commander when I was about 12 years old. That would have been Christmas of 2010. My grandmother, who has since passed, she always used to come to the house for Christmas and holidays and whatnot. And, you know, we would just go through the whole thing the night before, where I would be so excited that, you know, Santa was coming and everything. And she always used to, you know, play along. And that Christmas in particular, my dad had ordered a talking commander for me off of eBay.
Uh-huh.
And when he got it, it didn't talk. Like, he pulled the string and the string stuck, you know, something happened. But I remember he kind of sat me down and said, you know, hey, I got this for you, you know, but I'm sorry it doesn't work. I just wanted you to know, you know, we'll return it. We'll do something. And, you know, I was very appreciative, of course, but I was, you know, a little disappointed because, you know, I was really excited, you know, to play with my talking commander and all this. And as soon as we're wrapping up, you know, the whole Christmas thing, everybody'd open their gifts. We're kind of cleaning up in the living room. My grandma walks over to the Christmas tree. I called her Nanny. So Nanny walks over to the Christmas tree and she says, hey, what is that? What's that poking out of the tree? And, you know, kind of gets my attention. And she reaches her hand into the tree and pulls out another talking commander.
Oh my goodness.
And she, you know, she says, oh, wow, Santa must have brought it, you know, and kind of, man, and it was such a special memory. And that figure in particular is by far, you know, I said that muscle body was my grail, but that one, I wouldn't take any amount of money for my talking commander that she pulled out of that tree. Cause that was one of the, I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. So.
Right. I've got an MP over there. One year, my mother, she asked my son, she said, well, what do you think he wants for Christmas? Now, I don't really need anything for Christmas, but this is probably about 15 years ago. And he said, well, I found this MP and he probably would like that. And so you're right. It's not fancy. It doesn't have anything special about it, but because she got it for me, I wouldn't take nothing for it. It's part of my memories now, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, that's a beautiful story. It shows how much your nanny loved you, and was thinking about you. And she went to the trouble to find out the specific kind that you wanted, you know, and would like. So
yeah. I'm sure mom and dad might have helped out a little bit. But
sure.
It was such a good memory, and I'll share a picture of her with you.
Okay, so, please do.
I've moved into her home, so I'm kind of working on it right now. That's where I'm at, but this is a picture of her and I. This wasn't that Christmas. I might have been like 6 or 7 years old in this picture, maybe 5, but this is us.
Oh my goodness, that's beautiful. Oh, I love it. Wow, what a memory. What a memory, man.
So yeah, do you have any pictures to show off? Do you have that MP maybe?
Well, what I did the other day, I don't know. Let's see here. I hate this head. I mean, I don't know why they did this head, but I guess it was just something, you know, for mass marketing. But I just hate it. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I have so many of them, you know.
Right.
But I had this body, which I hate also.
Right.
You know,
like that was the Duke from the Hall of Fame.
This is Gun Ho. It's Gun Ho.
Oh, Gun Ho. Okay.
Yeah, it's Gun Ho, and you know he's got these these weird, crappy arms, and his legs with the, I don't know, I guess it's got a metal rod in there or something. I mean, it does
Right.
move, but these,
Right.
I just hate that. So I spent the day the other day, well, not the day, but a few minutes the other day, and I took that head off and I put it on this body.
Oh, wow. That looks excellent.
Yeah, and so now I've got a state trooper that's gun ho.
That's very accurate too. I know a lot of state troopers that look like that.
Exactly. My wife said he looks just like one of them, you know.
Yep.
But I just love it.
Oh, that's awesome. That looks great.
Yeah, the thing that I like doing is making whatever I'm playing with, unique for me. It.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I got this guy down here now. He don't talk. But I was
Uh-huh.
going through. I guess it was Walgreens or whatever, and I saw this on a whiskey bottle or something like that. It was
Yep.
some kind of a bottle warmer, and I figured, hey, that's an ugly sweater. So,
Yeah, and it's perfect. I've got a few of those, not that exact same pattern, but I've got a few of those, the same size and everything, and they fit perfectly.
they fit perfect, and there's another one that I don't have available to show, but the Elf on the Shelf, they come out with clothes every year for the Elf on the
Mm-hmm.
Shelf, and his clothes will fit G.I. Joe.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're kind of cheesy because everything's Velcroed. You don't put anything over his head. Even the arms, it's kind of like it's one big pattern, and it fits together, and then you just Velcro his arms down. It's kind of cheesy, but once you get it on the Joe, it looks okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was going through the mall one day, and I saw all these Elf on the Shelf stuff over there, and I just went over and I bought a couple of the clothes. I said, I'm going to see what it fits like, and it fit perfectly. Let me go get my MP.
Okay.
Now this one here, this first one that I'm going to show you is not the one that my mother got me. This is the one that I put together. Of course, you've seen that before.
Yeah, that's a nice one.
Yeah. And I bought these from a guy over in Europe. He sold me a bunch of them, and I think they're good because they keep the dust off of it. Trying to clean your figures up and keep them clean is always a pain. But yeah, I bought this one from a guy, I believe at a show. I actually bought the body, then I bought the different parts of the uniform. It's more expensive putting it together this way. If you can find it all together, go ahead. I'm building a second one right now because Mike wants one, and I think
cool.
I've got everything except the weapons. And then this is the one my mom bought me. I don't know if you can. I don't know if you can see it
Very
all right.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shore Patrol. Yeah.
Shore Patrol.
Great one.
I know I said MP, but no, he's Shore Patrol. And I don't know where she got him at. He might be a reproduction, I don't really know for sure, but I know I like him.
Absolutely. The story is what makes it. That's what makes it priceless.
Sure. Well, one of the things that I'm looking for, and I don't need it. When you say you need something, that's ridiculous. We don't need anything. But
Right.
I would like to have someday, I'd like to have one of the forest rangers that was made by Stovall.
Yeah.
Those
are really nice.
Oh, those are nice. Well, before we wrap this up, why don't you tell us about your trip to see Indiana Jones and all that? Just share that with us real quick.
Well, sure. Yeah. Have you seen the movie, by the way? The new one?
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Yeah, I was having a conversation with a friend of mine the other day. I think if if I hadn't have got to do the premiere and everything, I wouldn't have been, I wouldn't have liked it as much as I did. The more I watch it now that it's released, I'm like, but yeah, and man, that was definitely a once in a lifetime experience. And it sounds kind of corny and cheesy, but it's something that I've always wanted to do as far as go to a premiere and everything. But just the fact that I got to see, my favorite movie character, which is Indiana Jones, and obviously Harrison Ford's my favorite actor, just seeing that whole thing and watching him kind of, because he's 81 now, but at the time he was 80.
Right.
And just seeing him back for one last, go at it. And when he came out onto the red carpet and everything, everybody just went crazy. So it was a really cool experience. Really, really cool.
Well, I watched it here the other night with my wife, and I think she fell asleep. But before she fell asleep, she said, "They're just going from one action to the next action to the next action." I said, "Yeah, well, that's an Indiana Jones movie. That's what it is."
Yep.
Yep. And it was like, could you think of one more thing to do, guys?
Right.
Y'all didn't leave nothing out, did you?
No, I think they were trying to pack it all in.
I guess since it was the last one, let's do it all, right?
Right.
What would be your favorite scene in the movie?
My favorite, so the opening scene that had the younger Harrison Ford and everything, that was probably my favorite part of the whole movie. I really enjoyed that. As far as later in the movie, I really like when they're in Archimedes' tomb and they have the little gunfight and Indy grabs the gun and they, start going back and forth. I like those parts. But there's some good scenes in the movie, but overall, I don't necessarily like how they went with the story. I didn't appreciate seeing Indy as a grumpy alcoholic. I don't think that was necessary. But yeah, overall, it had some redeeming qualities, I think. What was your favorite scene?
I guess when he met the I don't remember her name, but the girl from the earlier movies. When he when he met her, that was touching. I like that. I guess I'm just all into nostalgia, things that bring back memories, and I remember, their relationship, and so that was pleasant to see him and her together again. That probably was the part that I liked the best of the movie. And of course, they didn't develop the story any further, but still, you hope that it all goes and has a happy ending in the end. That's what you hope for anyway. Well, thanks, Alex. Thanks for being on the show. And listen, if you have anything else you want to say before we go ahead right now. It's fine.
No, I just wanted to say thank you for having me, my friend. It's been pleasant talking to you.
Well, it's because of people like you that the hobby will continue, because, us 80-year-old guys ain't going to be around long. But hey, here's another thing that I want to say about the whole collecting idea. One of the things that blessed me about the community of Joes is that when I took Mikey the first year that we met you, Mikey didn't understand none of that. He was too little. He doesn't even remember it, but he was too little to even understand what was going on. But at least at that time, it made an impact on him, because people were giving him Joes. People were sharing things with him. Like they'd pick something up and say, "Hey, I got 2 of these. You want one?" And that just made an impact on him that for many years he continued to play and enjoy it because of that impact. Now, he may say he doesn't remember it, and maybe he doesn't, but I know that subconsciously it caused the memory in him. And I don't know if you remember this, but there was somebody that had died. I don't know who it was, but somebody died and had all kinds of stuff and said, all you kids go through it, just get whatever you want. And
Yep.
So that was one of Mikey's first experiences, just to be able to go and get stuff out of the bins, and it was, his. And he still has it, so, the hobby is an important thing to me because of the camaraderie, like you said. we made friends with people that they're going to be our friends forever. And
Right. Absolutely.
you're one of them, and I always have appreciated you. Your mom is the sweetest. She's just a doll. And your dad, just a tremendous. How's he doing, by the way? How's he doing?
He's doing great. He's
Great.
back to work and everything.
Great.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, greet them all for us, and y'all have a good day. And thanks for being on the show. And I want to tell all you, please like, share, and comment. Help us build my channel. Remember, toys are fun.
All right.